Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. Don't drink and vaccine so. I'm learning this the hard way right now. Also INB4 you're stupid. I'm well aware. But don't fucking drink right after your second COVID shot. And for that matter, don't drink the next day either. I'm in a world of hurt right now. One I thought I could alleviate by drinking. And it's all gone awry. Now not only am I buzzed, but the headache has been amplified as well, pretty much neutralizing the good feeling. And on top of that I'm like X4 more nauseous than I was before. That being said, my mama didn't raise a quitter. I'm gonna finish this booze while I laugh at my own self-induced misery. Don't be like me. End of story. Next story. How I almost died at a school party flushed. So this was around the time I was about 11. Currently a 16-year-old female. I remember the entire party very vividly. And that for horrible reasons. I was in year 6. And every year on the day before Halloween break we would go into the lunch hall and basically have a disco. Everyone wore Halloween costumes and I had a witch costume. I was with my friends. Being referred to as F from now. Playing truth or dare at the back of the hall. No harmful dares. Just stupid juvenile ones like pinging hair ties at the ceiling. Some kid was dressed up as Jason. He had a knife prop. And he was just standing there. Doing nothing. We just ignored it. Thinking it was just a cosplay thing. I needed to pee. So we snuck out of the hall. After that, one F got a Ouija board out of her backpack. After playing for a while in the bathroom and getting really spooked after the soap dispenser ejected soap by itself, we went back to the hall. But nobody was there. The music had stopped. A fire alarm was going. That same kid, the one dressed as Jason, now had a real knife. We soon got told he had gotten expelled from another primary school because he had apparently stabbed 4 students. One of them unfortunately passed away from the stabbing. To say the least, I could have died. I've never seen the crazy bitch since. And I hope he is in prison from now. End of story. Next story. The time a popular girl stood up for an outcast in 7th grade homeroom. We had assigned seating at these big round tables. 5 people at each table. My table was 3 popular kids. Connor, Evan, and Nicole. Me, a dorky girl. But I had plenty of friends. And Tammy, basically a social outcast. She was very odd and often unpleasant. Me and a few other dorky girls were still nice to her though. One day during some free time Connor asked Tammy out on a date. She looked shocked and confused but said yes. Connor and Evan burst out laughing. Then Connor told Tammy he was just joking. Poor Tammy's face flushed bright red. But she held her dignity as best she could and just kind of opened a book and hid her face and stayed frozen for a while. Nicole said, "Connor, you are such an asshole." Connor kind of giggled sheepishly and then he started blushing. I don't think he expected to get in trouble with a hot girl. He was like, "I was just joking." And Nicole said, "It's not funny. You need to say you're sorry." He looked really embarrassed and said, "Sorry, Tammy." And without looking at him she said, "I accept your apology." I could tell she was trying to seem unflustered. She went to the bathroom after that. And that's all I remember. I don't think any of us ever brought it up again. Shout out to the Nicoles out there in the world standing up against the Connors for the Tammys. Looking back, I should have stood up for her too. But I was intimidated. And TBH he probably wouldn't have listened to me. Nicole knew her power and used it for something good. I always appreciated her for that. Names have been changed. End of story. Next story. When I was a baby. Out on a stroll with my parents on vacation. A woman, dead serious, tried to buy me and made an offer of $1,500 but got rejected. She then raised the bid with a packet of cookies. Dad was tempted by the addition of the cookies. Mom said no. Life, huh? End of story. Next story. The time I stabbed someone with a mechanical pencil. Before I start, I want this to be known to all of you who read. I am not proud of this moment. I lost my cool and this kid really did not deserve this. I am telling it now because I thought it was a very entertaining story nonetheless. Anyways, let me get started. So this story happened when I was in like 5th or 6th grade. So I was probably around 11 or 12 years old. Now I would ride the bus to get to my school. I rode on the bus every day. There was this kid. I will just name him Jeremy. Now Jeremy rode in the same bus as me and he was in the grade below me. He was the very annoying and obnoxious kid who would just try and annoy people to get attention. He would make loud noises, randomly scream, bang on the windows, and just do all these annoying things just to get attention. And it worked. So he kept doing it. So one day, Jeremy is acting like himself, being annoying and obnoxious as he always is. But then like halfway through the bus ride he starts fucking with me. He starts throwing random shit at me. He would throw food wrappers, pencils and pens, random papers. Basically anything that was in his backpack he would throw at me. This shit made me mad. I would tell him to stop but he never would. Now for about a week this shit has been going on. He is still throwing random shit at me. I am fed up with his bullshit at this point. I yell at him, "Fucking stop throwing shit at me or I will fucking hurt you." Of course my threat didn't stop him. He continued to throw shit at me. One thing in particular that he threw at me was a mechanical pencil. I snapped it in half because I was mad. I wasn't planning on actually hurting him though. I just wanted to express my anger to him. He laughed and shrugged it off. A couple of minutes go by and Jeremy is back to just throwing random shit at me again. Every few minutes something would fly at me. But then, he makes the biggest mistake he can. He decides, why don't I go even bigger? He takes the gum out of his mouth. He cocks back his arm and throws the gum straight at me. I am as pissed off as I could be at this moment. I am so goddamn mad at him. The bus ride ends. We stand in line to get off the bus. Jeremy is right in front of me. Still pissed off at him, I was thinking about just punching him in the back of his head. But I get a better idea and grab the broken mechanical pencil. I raise up my arm and just jab it at his back 3 times. Now I did not do it very hard. I held myself back. I don't think I drew any blood. I might have made him bleed a little bit. But it still hurt him like a motherfucker because not even a second later he was bawling his eyes out. The bus driver asks what happened. Jeremy tells him. We are then sent to the principal's office. I tell the principal what had been happening the past week and why it led to my actions. The principal was understanding that there was every right to be mad. But violence is never the answer and that I should have just reported it and not take matters into my own hands. I didn't get in too much trouble. The principal sent me and Jeremy home for the day and told my parents what had happened. My parents are cool though and actually praised me for standing up for myself, so yeah, it turned out alright. In conclusion, Jeremy had never fucked with me again. We actually never spoke a word to each other ever since this had happened. Again, not very proud of this moment. I should have just fucking hit him in the back of the head or something. And not resort to shanking him like we're in a fucking prison lol. But yeah. I hope you enjoyed my story and I hope you have a wonderful day. I made a new story. You can read it here if you want to. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.